Hello and welcome to my Unit 3 Professional Practice Reflection video. By the end of the video, you'll have an understanding of how I have demonstrated and implemented effective time management skills and applied critical reasoning to my assignment. Now, in order for me to have effective time management throughout this whole assignment process, I started off by producing a Gantt chart. Now, a Gantt chart I found was an easy way for me to keep track of time. I started off by establishing how many days I had to complete the project. I then would write down a list of the tasks that I had to carry out, and I would give myself the appropriate number of days for that task depending on its size and severity. I found the best way to get things done and the best use of my time was to almost have daily objectives and create little assignments for myself. Two examples of this would be: 1. Research problem-solving methods. So one day I produced a problem-solving research table where I looked at different problem-solving methods. And example number 2 would be where I completed the notes that would accompany my training event presentation, which, by the way, was relating to Amazon Web Services. Related also to time management, it was important that I allocated more time to bigger tasks. So things like developing training presentation, that had a longer amount of time than saying quoting activity worksheets. But I'll come on to that a little bit later. To make sure I was always on track, it was important that I kept referring to the Gantt chart just to make sure that I wasn't spending too much time on a particular project or particular part of the assignment, should I say. Not only have I developed and shown good time management skills throughout the design of this training event, but at the forefront of my mind has always been to apply an element of critical reasoning to the design of the event. I guess for me, this started when I read the assignment brief and I was presented with the information that my target audience had a variety of different learning styles. Some learners learn best by listening, some learners learn best by doing, so like kinesthetic, auditory, or even visual. So in order for me to cater for all my learners, I have incorporated and designed an activity worksheet which will cater for the more practical learners, and then for the learners that like to listen and auditory, there is a PowerPoint that runs all the way through the training event. So for those learners that just want to listen, then they are able to do that. Now, I am aware that some learners struggle to retain vast amounts of information. So prior to the training event being delivered, I will be sending out a letter to all participants, just outlining the main training objectives and the materials that are being involved and the expectations, just to give them a heads up about what's going on really. And also the letter gives them the chance to make me aware of any additional requirements, as I already do know that one of our learners is colourblind, so in that case I've made sure that I printed the course materials on the relevant colour paper for that individual. Now, I've also applied critical reasoning when it comes to the layout of the training room. Now, this might sound a bit weird, but upon researching different training room layouts, I found that the most effective one for the use in my training event would be the round tables. So the way that I've laid it out is that I have 5 round tables, and this is to encourage maybe the lesser confident people in the training event to communicate with others, and maybe them more confident people will encourage the less confident to voice their opinions and get their voices heard. So that's about it from me. I hope I have illustrated to you and demonstrated that I have used critical reasoning and effective time management skills, and I look forward to seeing you very soon when I deliver my training event on Amazon Web Services.